All right, just kind of some facts about ethanol. A lot of this stuff you guys probably already know, but the metabolism of ethanol. Um, so ethanol, when ethanol is consumed, it is absorbed into the stomach and the small intestines very, very quickly because it's a very small molecule. It's very similar to how water interacts. Water absorbs into our body very quickly. Ethanol is just a little bit bigger, so it also absorbs pretty quickly. When it gets into the liver, it quickly um, uh, gets oxidized, all right, by an enzyme called aldehyde dehydrogenase. Actually, it's called alcohol dehydrogenase, but we also have what's called an aldehyde dehydrogenase. Anytime that you see this ending ase, that means an enzyme. All right, so if you've had other classes and you see aces, those are enzymes. Um, Biochemists are not very fancy with their names. They actually just tell you exactly what the enzyme does, dehydrogenase. So it gets rid of hydrogens, which this implies an oxidation, right? Dehydrogen, taking hydrogen away. These are types of oxidizing reagents inside our bodies. Okay, so you can see ethanol um, by alcohol dehydrogenase forms the aldehyde, okay, acetaldehyde to be exact, and then acetaldehyde is then oxidized again to acetic acid. So you can see this is what we talked about. This is a primary alcohol because it's only attached to one carbon, is oxidized to the aldehyde, which the aldehyde then is further oxidized into acetic acid. Okay, consuming more ethanol than can be metabolized leads to a buildup of acetaldehyde, which is this compound. This is what's also responsible for hangovers. By getting this too much of this inside our body, just wreaks havoc on our body and makes you just feel lousy. And it just takes time for your body to, eventually consume all this and oxidize it to acetic acid. All right. Obviously, if you get way too much of this, it's toxic and you can die. All right. Um, Methanol is oxidized into formaldehyde and then formic acid, and formaldehyde is pretty bad for you. All right, that's why they say it makes you go blind um, and things like that. It's the same enzymes. It doesn't treat methanol any different than ethanol. But when you start forming formaldehyde and formic acid in the body, that is extremely toxic for our bodies. Okay. So both these compounds are extremely toxic. So the consumption of methanol leads to decreased blood pH. Okay, so you become acidotic, which is horrible. Our blood is a very fine line in pH. I think it varies between 7.2 and 7.4. I mean, we are talking point something of a pH. All right, which can cause blindness, like I talked about, and eventually death if you have a lot of it. So here's just kind of showing you when you take methanol, you get formaldehyde and then formic acid by the dehydrogenase. All right, health effects. I imagine most people kind of know what happens when you drink too much alcohol. Obviously, you get dizzy. Some people usually feel happy. It actually is a depressant, so a lot of people do feel more depressed. It usually enhances a person's personality a little bit more. And it says a decrease of social inhibitions, so you are much more extroverted, which sometimes could be a good thing. Large amounts of alcohol causes decrease in coordination and time reaction. That's why we don't drink and drive. And then large amounts obviously can result in coma and death because of that huge amounts of the aldehyde inside of your body. Excessive use. So this alcohol is pretty hard on the liver. So doing this over and over and repetitively having your liver do something that it really does not want to do is actually pretty hard on the liver. So psoriasis is a disease that could arise from an increased alcohol consumption. All right, pregnant women shouldn't drink alcohol because the alcohol actually crosses the placenta, and it could affect the fetus and the enzymes and any of the of the chemical reactions that are occurring in order to grow the fetus. Obviously, you do not want to hinder any type of growth of a fetus. Okay, we're going to end there, and when we come back, we will start talking about